2 weeks ago, I came back to this platform and it has really opened me up to what my process looks like and what's the purpose of what I'm doing. I explained that in this video right here. That video was the why, and this is the what I've been doing for the past 2 weeks. These are actual things and processes that I've incorporated into this new realm of becoming a fine art photographer. So here's what I've been up to. I realized that in order to prepare myself for, submitting either applications for residencies or grants or things of that nature, that I really needed to like lock in on organizing my files. That would be my photos that I'm submitting for different applications, my CV, my references, just anything that is always required or asked for when applying for these types of things. So my files on my desktop were everywhere. So thankfully they're all in one place to where I can, continue to organize them or put them in the right places on my hard drives. And I've also been toying around with ideas and different ways to advertise the personal work that I've already done. So it's been more of like I guess you would say like an admin or clerical process, because I realized that when the files are everywhere, it doesn't make for, a great experience when I'm looking for things. So even renaming files is helpful. So the past 2 weeks has been more of me just kind of sifting through what I already have and also making sure that I put a process in place when it comes to applying for the things I want to apply for. Essentially, I'm juggling a lot right now just because I do feel like an organized person makes for a better artist. Like my thoughts are not all over the place. And now with me, putting things in place, it'll make it easier to find set documents. What I've also been doing is getting back into reading, starting to journal more, resting. That is part of my process as well, along with refining the process that I have for my personal project. I've been working on this project for 6 years and it's called I See Myself in You. And the idea comes from realizing that out of all of the photo books that I own, it feels like the stories of Black queer women, non-binary and trans women are missing. And though there are projects similar to this, I feel like I have my own personal mission and perspective when it comes to it. So I've been making portraits, doing video interviews for the past 6 years around it. And that is what has kept me busy. Now, I enjoy working on this because it gives me the opportunity to create work that is outside of what I'm usually hired for or commissioned to do. With this project, my long-term goal is that this is a lifelong project. Along with, I would love to have a published book. I'd like to have an exhibit. I'd like to have talks. I'd like to do a lot of things that's concerning this one project. And that has taken up a lot of my time. Now, going back to what I said about being organized, there are a few things that are attached to this project that can be time consuming, but I feel like I have a process in place for that. And what those things include are I have a link where people can schedule their session. I also have a newsletter that's attached. Once the photos or the video interview is complete, then I have to put it on my hard drive and make selects. As I'm making selects, I'm also thinking about sequencing. So there's a lot of things that are attached, or at least a lot of pieces that are attached in order to make this project not only flow well, but to be organized in a way that would be helpful to me, which goes back to those applications. So as you can see, like putting things into steps and putting things into folders, organizing them, putting them in their right place is helpful for my process. I mean, I know that, as photographers or creatives, files are everywhere, but why not take the time at least once or twice a week to make sure that things are in their place so they're easily to be found? These are the unsexy parts of the process. Admin work can be boring, but it'll save you time in the end when you're ready to apply or ready to send different images or work to people who are asking for them in real time. time and resources. Those things get in the way because sometimes personal projects are longer than whatever the period that you've mentioned. As I said before, I've been making work for this one project for the past 6 years. So that means lots of data, lots of interviews, lots of reading, lots of reaching out. And so those things can be a bit daunting at times just because it's a lot to do and you're the only person that's doing it. But it's also a sense of pride and passion. When you are creating work that you're not necessarily being commissioned to do, it opens up a different part of yourself. You found out a little bit more about who you are as a person, as a human, as this living being on earth, and you understand just what your passion is. And I feel like there's a bit of empathy that goes into certain projects. When I started making work for my project, I See Myself in You, it was more so because I wanted to tap into more of my several identities. And as I've been creating this work, it's the support that has been, very grounding for me as I continue the work. As I build out things, you'll see that as well. But right now, this is more of like me showing up for myself and also watching what my progress looks like over time. I've been asking myself, why am I doing this and why do I keep showing up? When I started photography back in 2008, this was not my career choice. I wanted to be on television as a news anchor. I want to do a lot of things other than what I'm doing now. But when you feel inclined to do something new and try something new, there's a healthy amount of fear that's attached to it, but there's also what would my life look like if I didn't try? And this is just an instance of me trying again and starting over. And that's why I don't see myself backing away from being on this platform. Right now I'm on this schedule because I have the time. But even, when work begins again, I do see myself making time for this platform because, again, there are different levels to photography or careers or success or whatever that looks like that some people just aren't seeing. And I hope that with my evolution and with my transition into this fine art space, that people can understand that you have the ability to do it as well. Right now I'm finding my community and I have that community and they've been very supportive of what I've been doing. And that's been helpful throughout this entire process. So what I want you to know is that sometimes the time won't present itself or the right time, but starting something and believing in it with passion and with so much like conviction that this is the path that you're supposed to be on, you'll know. Like, I can't tell you when that time comes, but you'll know in your heart and your mind that you need to continue to show up for what you started and what you believe in. So in a couple of weeks, I'll have the same conversation with a guest on the channel, and we'll be talking about personal projects. We'll also be talking about like all the things that we're experiencing with the photo industry just shifting and changing this year. But all in all, you'll see what this process looks like, not only for me, but for someone else. And I'm excited to share this conversation with you soon. In the meantime, thanks for joining, and I'll see you in the next video.